Welcome to the channel and episode 12. This is going to be a beautiful one. And I'm going to try and give you a little bit more information about cabin life, what to expect. See whether you're packing a tent in the morning or doing a certain ritual to make sure that you've got everything, not left anything behind. It doesn't really make that much of a difference because it's still going to take the same amount of time. Okay, another quick update. Bike's all packed up and now I'm heading north again. And anybody that knows anything about geography will know probably where I'm going. The weather is terrible outside. It is chucking it down with rain. It's windy and it feels about 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. Well, that's par for the course, I suppose, where I am. But the weather where I'm going appears to be better. So what I'm hoping is I want to get up there, do the thing, maybe stay one night and then head back down. But then I'll be taking a slightly different route. So, and then hoping that I will get sun for the next destination. So I just wanted to kind of keep you in the picture and wish me luck, because this is quite a long part of the trip, and I just seriously want to get it done fast, which is a bit strange really, because it's quite a good, it's a wonderful thing, but other than that, it's not really part of my tour. In fact, it was never really part of the tour. So let's hope I get there. So, keep me in your head and I'll update probably later or tomorrow. And this was finally a moment that I say dreading. I could feel it coming, but when it actually happened, I had a bit of a brain meltdown. This was a walk away moment. Basically, I went outside, jumped on as usual, and the Riker didn't start. Yep. That was a moment. I'm too far above the world now and too close to my next target for something like a battery to let me down. So one of the priorities today is going to be to find a Canam dealer, and bearing in mind where I am now, which is about 450 kilometres above the Arctic Circle. Still enjoying the views. However, with something now as a priority, which I hadn't been expecting. The Riker's been hiccuping with startup in the mornings the last couple of days, and I was kind of hoping that I could get back without this being an issue. It's now an issue. In fact, it's a number one priority. So hoping to find a dealer, Canam dealer, at some point today that is going to be able to help, because what I don't need right now is to have to wait a couple of days for them to supply parts or order stuff and I'm hanging around waiting, etc. No. I don't need that kind of maintenance problem. It's easy to solve if you have the parts. So in the meantime, I'm enjoying the landscape, and what an awesome landscape it is. I'm going to turn around now and show you something, and to be honest, because I've figured out kind of the amount of kilometres I have to do today and I have time for this kind of thing, I am now exploring, and it's such a great place to explore. Actually, I wish I had more time. I'm not allowing myself enough time to explore now, really. But this area I am, because on the way back down, if my plans come to fruition, I will not be coming through this area again. I'll bypass it. So I just thought I'd kind of show you bits and pieces of it. And this area is also going towards Senja, and Senja is an area I'm
really kind of looking forward to seeing. So this is really just a sort of an atmosphere image, really. This place is so chill. It's so quiet, so tranquil. I just love it. I just love the whole ambience of the whole place. And just this kind of thing, the fact that the tunnels are chipped out of the rock, kind of thing, I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, for me, this is like paradise. I could do with a couple of extra degrees today. It's not as warm as it could be, but it's, the weather's going up and down. It's dryish. I have had rain, but it's bearable at the moment. My first boat. This was quite a funny experience. I'm going to the front. I'm not jumping the queue here. I'm not attempting to get on the boat before somebody else. This is something I do as a habit, if I can, is to go to the front, because you're less likely to get squished between two vehicles, and generally the ferry staff recognise that, and I leave it up to their discretion as to whether I'm on the same boat as everybody else or not. You usually are, because motorcycle, I mean, this is not a true bike, of course, but it's as small as a normal motorcycle. It doesn't take up any more length than a normal bike. It's low, and sometimes they kind of prop you into a corner that another vehicle just simply wouldn't fit. And I mean, look at this. It's grey, it's wet, but it's not windy now. You get a group of campers together with boats, because they're all leaving to go on the same road as you at the same moment. I mean, you can pace yourself, you can stop, let them go, but you inevitably catch up with them at another point, or you risk life and limb to get past them. I generally tend to just take another route. I still have to stop every now and again for petrol, as often as I can, actually. Petrol stations are few and far between when you get up this high, so that's something you do have to calculate. But I mean, I'm not doing 130, at this pace the petrol goes a lot further, which is good, because you do tend to get stuck behind this kind of situation. Not much you can do about it. I've mentally blown them all up. and it's one less anyway, but they just, I mean, literally, it's the blot on the landscape. You can't avoid it. You just cannot. So I just kind of try and take I take all my attention to other things. I mean, like bridges, for instance. On this stretch of road, there are a couple of iconic bridges. But look at this. I mean, the convoy situation. Yeah, it's difficult to overtake. You just simply, there are so many twists and turns and things, it just is difficult to overtake. You just kind of settle into the rhythm and sit back and just enjoy the ride. Having studied the weather, I'm well aware of what it's doing and what it's going to be doing for the rest of the day. I have faith. I know, or I am... is it a hope? No, it's not a faint hope. It's predicted. Alright, better weather has been predicted, and that is what's keeping me going right now, because this is disgusting. even for me, this is not nice because the temperature's dropped as well, and then you're wet, you're cold and wet, and yeah, you have to kind of cast your brain to think of positive things, better weather, blue sky, that kind of thing. It just keeps you going, it does, because when you're in this kind of weather, although it does, it is still producing beautiful landscapes. You're cold, you're wet, and the only thing you can think about is a hot shower and a big meal and to be comfortable and a good coffee, you know, small things, the little things please, but they become so necessary. They really do. So finally arrived at my accommodation, and it's gorgeous. The location is fantastic, far better than I could have hoped for. There's a pink flower field. That has actually something to do with the hotel, because those little pink flowers you see everywhere, you can eat. Haha. And they're good as well, actually. Yeah, this is a room with a view. What a place. Place for the Riker is parked away from the road. But look at this, the iconic fjord. The hotel's pretty full, but I still have the feeling that I'm here on my own. Ah, that's a result. What I mean about the pink flowers. Literally, they're everywhere. You see them at the sides of all the roads. Everywhere, literally. I've seen them the whole length of the country. Apparently, they only flower 3 months of the year, and I just happen to be seeing them, I believe, June to September or something that they flower. But the hotel themselves, they grow the flowers in that field, just in the back there. And that is for consumption. So they actually use them in the recipes in the hotel. I think that's great. Yeah, fantastic, and more than a little bit spooky, to be honest. It was fun at the beginning, but the temperature has dropped again. You know, it really feels pretty cold in here, and it is so dark. So the GoPro has a habit of lighting stuff. So you can imagine just how dark this tunnel really was. And it was a couple of kilometres long. But it's certainly given me an impression of what the tunnels look like when you get off of the E6. I mean, it is a big adventure, but I wasn't kind of expecting this, and so it's actually quite a good example of what's to come, because there are actually loads of these, but this was the first one that I'd done that was this dark and this spooky, to be honest, and I was kind of hoping that I was going to get to the end of it quite quickly, because the temperature it's should we say it's cooler than comfortable is, and I just want to get out on the other side, and it's always a surprise what you're going to see when you get out on the other side. Remembering that I need a battery, and very soon petrol, I decided to go back onto the E6 and find a dealer, which I did. Stopped for petrol, checked maps, 350 metres from where I just filled up was this dealer. And they managed to sort me out in 3/4 of an hour and still go home on time on a Friday evening. And they are absolutely my declared heroes of the day, possibly the whole trip. It just gives you a clear mind. It's such it gives you such a great feeling. That's the 80,000. So I am going to take a photo in a minute, because it's difficult with the camera on the stand and everything. That's a bit of a thing. I'll have to find another system for that, because it's getting a little bit annoying, because I just can't see the display from the camera. I see it all the time. However, in celebration, I'm going to stop. And to be honest, actually, I need a wee. And I should have stopped at the last petrol station, but then I wouldn't have hit the 80,000. There aren't many places to stop, and this was the closest. So it was just really to say that. It means absolutely nothing to anybody, but it means a lot to me. So now on my way towards Tromso, and everything's going really well. Almost, no, I'm not going to say it. So just thought I'd inform you of that. I say it's totally irrelevant to anybody else, but to me, it's a milestone. So, yeah, I just thought I'd I'm feeling pleased as punch. Simple things, simple things. Anyway, just thank you for hanging in there with me. Yeah, I wear a Neotech, a Shui, a Neotech 2 helmet, and I've got to love this visor, because it's just like one huge reflector. Can't be better, really. Although, you know, as a sun shield, I'm not really needing it too much. There is blue sky, and that's keeping me hopeful. Like I said, there is better weather predicted, and it's getting on a bit towards the end of the day. And it's always a thing, isn't it? Why is that? You can get rained on all day, and then at the moment you don't need it anymore, the sun shines. And here, literally, the weather does change every 20 minutes, every 20-30 minutes, you know. But it's to be expected. I'm pretty far north now, so it's just, you're hoping that the predictions are right, because it just makes such a huge difference to the whole trip when that sun's shining. Oh, and to the temperature. My next accommodation is a bit of a risk. I'm going to roll up. I'm rolling up. I have rolled up. That's the reception block there. Yes, this is an adventure. This is a real adventure because this is the first time that I haven't booked and just turned up. The expectancy, the anticipation is killing me. That was easy. Just arrived, walked into reception, booked the cabin, and now I'm here. So this is my home for this evening. And it looks like the gamble has paid off. What a location! Huge stone bank between the river and the huts. But what a location! Wow, wow, wow! Ha ha! Amazing. I am so pleased I chose to do this. And having dumped all the gear, I thought, right, okay, time to go outside, sort some food out. And the sun was going down. You know, I hadn't noticed it in the hut. And then you're presented with a spectacle of, I took 1,000 photos, I think. And it still wasn't enough. You can't describe it. And it was warmer. You know, the warmth of the sun you feel directly. And suddenly the world is a beautiful place. The only thing that's going to complete it is now a full stomach. And if you haven't done it yet, please feel free to subscribe. It just means you're not going to miss any further episodes. Thanks for watching.